없다면 서로 생각 안 했다면 우리가 이리도 질질 끌었을까 이제 마음이 없다면 이 시선 위는 위험해 내 생각보다 말고 Alright 반복된 시스템 이제서야 끝을 내보려 해 Alright 지켜본 시스템 누군가 여기서 내려야 돼 할 순 없지만 누가 내려도 망치지 서로 넘지 말고
Hello, hello, hello. This is Dr. Lariat, aka Kenny Gumega, aka Toru Yaino, aka Gunther, aka Dave Seltzer 5 stars, aka Barmello Hayes, aka Big Boom IA, aka Leche Cerro, aka Royal True Orange Cassidy, aka Great Ojuan, aka Tahokea, aka Bruiser Bulgogi, aka Stan the Lariat Ham Sandwich, aka Genki Horiguchi Mang, aka Sticky Choshu, aka The Smart Bastard, aka Magnum Suchio, aka Bingo Takagi, aka The Mochizuki Goon, aka Dandadan Fuji, aka Manila Connection Puti, aka The Problematic Dragon, aka your host. And I got a special one here because for the first time, well, not actually the first time, but he is going to be the first Asian American active pro wrestler I have on the show. I have with me, and I'm gonna do an AKAs for him because I got a lot of respect for this good brother. I have Mortal Kombat, Drake Kwon the chef. You know, we got here Drake Kwon from SeaTac from Washington. How you doing? Welcome to the show, man.
Well, thank you, Larry. And that was a lot of AKAs. You know what? I have to say, I really like the Bruiser Bulgogi one. I'm gonna have to steal that.
Yo, bro, like, hey, you know, like, cause I want to tell the audience this is a big boy. This is a hoss. This is a big man, and like, if he wants to go by Bruiser Bulgogi, I think he should go by Bruiser Bulgogi, like that, cause that's a pretty good one right there.
Good one, yeah. That one is a banger. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Along with the sticky chushu, I was like, damn.
Yeah. I just want to like welcome you to the show, man. Welcome a good brother, welcome a worker, and I just like this is a long time coming, and I have a lot of respect for you, because like I grew up doing taekwondo. I had very, very stern, angry Korean military teachers. So like I have a respect for taekwondo, and I have a respect for the culture. Hana Turu set. I also when nowadays like you can't go anywhere without watching Korean things, right? Whether it's K-drama, K-pop, everywhere. Like the biggest thing for all like my nephews and nieces is K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, the goddamn demon slayers everywhere.
Yeah, and it's just like that's probably gonna be in there somewhere.
Yeah, better stop there. Stop there before you get like copyright stroke.
Oh, dude, I think I got copyright stroke once, but I try to use all my cousins his remixes that he does so that I don't get caught. By the way, I'm gonna do a plug in the middle of the show. Go to soundcloud.com, Nicolangelo Music. You hear it at the beginning of the show all the time. Nicolangelo Music for all your beats and sound inquiries. But anyway, back to Drake Kwon, man. We were talking like, about our AKAs. Drake Kwon is an AKA in itself because I remember we at the before we started the show, we brought up Korean names, right? Because I know like I
Oh
have
yeah.
a lot of Korean homies, and they have this is Edwin Lee, this is you know like that kind of thing. This is Joseph and all that stuff. So what's your Korean name, man?
My Korean name is actually Sun-gyu,
Sungyu.
which means to be successful before others.
Hey, that's a pretty dope name if you're gonna use that for wrestling. Kind of like how Ricky Steamboat's name was like Dick Blood, but
Yeah,
but
should have just went with that.
Cause Sungyu, that's a dope name too for me because I have a couple friends named Sung, and it's shit. Like we had this conversation too about how a lot of people for some reason they have trouble like saying like Korean names, Chinese names, like even like I have South Asian friends. They have their Indian name, and then they have their, oh, this is my name because Americans can't pronounce Manpreet. You know.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why did you go with the name Drake?
Well, I chose the name Drake Kwon because, one, I wanted something strong, like invoking a strong feeling, right? Originally, I had like a choices between Lex or Drake. Uh, but ultimately, I went with the Drake because I wanted to relate to, the year of a dragon because that's when I was born. So
Hmm.
I wanted something to invoke the power of a dragon. So I went with the Drake.
That's
And the Kwon is actually it can be multiple meanings as you know how Asian languages works, right?
yeah.
Uh, one of the Kwon, the meaning was authority and a fist. So I'm like, you know what? A fist of dragon. That sounds actually pretty dope. So I'm gonna go with that, and people can actually say that name.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. That's like cuz I use the name Lariat. Like I've been using this name since like high school. Because you get the joke, right? Lariat,
Right.
Lariat.
Lariat. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's kind of what you need in pro wrestling. Is something, although because let's face it, the American fans are kind of useless for pronouncing things. They'll say what for like if a guy just has an accent, even though he's speaking clear English, they will say what.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. They can get really annoying.
yeah, because like I just think like when because Drake Kwon, that's a really strong name. That's a strong name.
Right.
Yeah, even though
Uh,
when we think of Drake nowadays, we think about him suing
well,
for
yeah, I know.
defamation, and that's kind of like, that's kind of like a little bit of like, oh, that's all your credit gone, man.
Thank God I'm not the most hated Drake. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, I'll take that.
yeah,
No, but
man.
other thing, as I was, like picking my name, I do want to bring up that somebody told me, hey, when you're picking your name, you also want to think about what the audience can chant. Like okay, like some people, like if you have a name that's easy for people to make a chant out of, or just like make some kind of, like a cheer or boo. How easy is it for them to incorporate your name into it? So I was like, oh, okay, like Drake Kwon, just DK, so they can just chant DK. It will be
Yeah,
much harder with the Lex Kwon. No one's want to do LK, right?
yeah, yeah. Oh man, that's pretty dope, man. I just came up with one off the top of my head. There's two ways it could go. You can go Gary Galby for Gary Albright, or you can go
Oh,
Chad Galby instead of Chad
Chad
Gable.
Galbi.
I think Chad Galby is good.
Yeah, I think Chad Galbi is good. Yeah.
You just start doing. You come over here. I give you the German suplex. I'm sorry, man. It's like you. There's like so much. Like I want to tell the audience, like, cause this guy is so freaking cool, man. He can he like is so good with his fans. He has a Twitch where he like interacts with fans sometimes. He puts his clips on there. There's one clip I saw on there of you doing like just doing a Hulk Hogan thing on the side. I thought that
Oh
was funny.
God, you found that.
Yeah, it's right on your front page of your Twitch, man. I don't
Oh
wanted to
man.
call. I forgot to call you this like on the opening because there's another AKA I got for you. You know, the real Asian American, and I just wanted to give that to you, man. If and I hope if you ever do like just like do a weird gimmick thing, just do Bruiser Gogoki, man. That's or Chad Galby.
I,
You could wear like an American like a USA American Patriot mask and just call yourself Chad Galby, and
damn.
that's a
I'm
gimmick
gonna
right
have to
there, bro.
pitch that next time, yeah, when we do a wacky gimmick, battle royal or something.
Yeah, dude. Chad. Oh, imagine that tag team: Chad Galby and Bruiser Bulgogi. That'd be that'd be hard, man. Get someone with fuzzy boots and just have someone wear like an American flag outfit, whatever. That's your team, and you,
There you go. There you
man.
go.
So you have an accent, so I assume that you came to America. So when did you come over here, man?
I came to America back in 2000,
Okay,
along with the rest of my family.
that's cool, man. So why did your family move over here?
Well, Korea at the time was going through some a lot of trouble, especially economic, like a crisis. So my parents thought, like America would be better opportunities and options, which turned out, yeah, they were right. Like, at least in America, we were able to work hard and still make our living. And so, like, out of necessity, they came here.
Yeah, dude. That's understandable. That's the immigrant story, always coming to America for a better opportunity. And and you grew up in the Pacific Northwest, right?
Correct. Yeah, I
Yeah.
live pretty much like at this point, most of my life up here in Washington State.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and the reason I called Mr. Drake Kwon, Mr. Bruiser Bulgogi, Mr. Chad Galvi a real Asian American is because at this point, if you came in 2000, you've been an American longer than you've been a Korean, uh, country wise.
Oh, yeah.
And like, did you grow up in the area with a lot of Korean, or were you like one of the few Korean families where you grew up?
Oh, that's the funny thing, because when I came to America initially, there were not many Koreans in the area. I mean, there were
Mm.
Korean communities like a down, like a further south and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the area I was growing up, there were not many. But when we moved to Mukilteo, there were a lot of Koreans there. And
Yeah,
like
dude.
we went from nobody to pretty much like a two-thirds of the school was Koreans. And I'm like, whoa. Like, but by that point, I was already, kind of like assimilated into the community and the, American culture. So
Yeah.
I hung out more with my American friends than Korean, friends. So
Yeah.
yeah,
As what happens, man. Like, I personally I grew up opposite of you, where I grew up until a certain age where I'm surrounded by like by Asians, Vietnamese, Filipinos, and then like when I was in fourth grade, we moved to like an all white area. So I bear like the only Asian there was me and my brother, and until like the years went on, and then all of a sudden I got more Asian friends. So it and by that time like you kind of have to assimilate, and I know like people nowadays kind of look at assimilation as like in a bad sort of way, but what people don't get about if you're a minority in that lives in this country, even if you're not a minority, when you move to a new environment you sort of adapt to your environment, and that doesn't say like you're less of what you are. It's just that you're in the environment, and that's what you become. You start to hang out with these people from your area.
right, yeah, and ultimately that's what you want, right? As an immigrant, you come into the new country, you want to be part of the new community, new nation, the country, and you want to be accepted as a part of, the new identity, right?
Yeah,
Like you say, being assimilated into the new environment is not a bad thing. Like you can still retain your heritage, you can still retain your identity. Does not mean you cannot also be part of the new group.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I eat rice, but I also eat hamburgers.
Exactly. We get more choices.
Yeah. Hey man, there's nothing more annoying though when you go out with people, whoever your friends, whatever friends they are, or friend group. My friend group has grown smaller and smaller because like it's always I need to eat with people who will eat what I eat. That's that's kind of sort of what I become as I've been a grow as I gotten older is to like hanging out with people that are willing to try the food that I eat. Because I eat menudo.
Yeah.
I when we go to like a Korean barbecue, I'll eat the intestine. I love it's so chewy.
Oh yeah.
People are missing out on that if they don't try like the intestine. I love pork jowl. You know,
Oh yeah.
man, we just had Korean barbecue the other week this weekend, and then one of my favorite things to do is watch like the intestine and the octopus both shrink at the same time because I love grilling them.
Oh,
I'm,
that's gonna
I'm
freak some people out. Yeah.
yeah, I'm usually the cook when we go to Korean barbecue because I like to cook things a certain way, and I know my wife likes it differently, so I cook my stuff and then her stuff different. When you go to Korean barbecue, what is the proper way to eat Korean barbecue? Because I've heard people
Gosh.
tell me stuff like all the time when we go.
I mean, I mean, in my honest opinion, the proper way of eating Korean barbecue is whatever is yummy in your tummy. But if you want to optimize, start with the non-saucy things. Start with pork belly. Start with the beef, sliced beef. All those kind of stuff, and then
Hmm.
move on to the bulgogi, galbi, and other things that are marinated in sauce. So
Yeah,
you don't have to change your grill so many times.
that's what I'm saying. You eat the beef belly, the beef tongue, brisket. You
Yeah.
eat all that for you get big stuffs on that, and then when you want to change it, because sometimes you get too much belly fat on you or like too much beef flavor, then you move on to the marinated stuff, and then
Right.
I like how like now they do like the cheese on the side or sometimes corn cheese that you put
Oh, the
the
corn cheese on. Yeah,
yo
that shit slaps. Also, the other reason why I say eat the saucy marinated stuff later is because you eat more rice as you
yeah,
eat those, like a kalbis and bulgogis, because those are, like a salty and a little more, flavor to it. So you want to eat rices to, like counteract it. But if you're just eating, start with the samgyeopsal, and like the bellies, and the beefs. You don't have to eat as much rice, so you can eat more meat.
bro. Well, you're speaking my language, man. Uh, when like, if you're ever down here in a SoCal in LA, I'll take you out to the
Uh,
good Korean, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we'll go because I've made that promise to every Asian guest I've had so far on the show, from like WH Park to like waiting and like everybody. I'm just like, okay, yeah, you come out here, I'll take you to Korean barbecue, or I'll take you go yamcha. That's what we call that's dim sum. Because
All
either
right.
one of those out here, I think those are fire out here. Because even like uh, Korean barbecue, you can eat all you can eat, and it's like still high level. But then when you
Yeah,
go
yeah.
like to the expensive one, it's like even a higher level because there's difference between all you can eat and the Korean barbecue restaurants. But like I eat both either. I love going to all you can eat and just like destroying my stomach.
Oh God.
I just like going home and being sleepy in the car and like making my wife drive because I'm too full.
Yeah, man.
And
You're just
sometimes
going.
you
You're having that food coma right away.
yeah, and then sometimes you get like that pitcher, right? The pitcher because the beer is so cheap when you go there, and then by the time you're done, you have all the beef and all the beer, and then like your gut is like three times its size.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah, man. I love Korean barbecue. Um, Man, I love hearing immigrant stories because they're so relatable, right? Because you come here to the United States, it's a whole new thing, and you're figuring this out, and you're a kid too. So like, when you're a kid, you're just trying to figure life out in general. So imagine coming over here to a brand new country, and what did you know English right away when you came, or where did you have to learn it over here?
Oh no, no. I had to learn it like hard way here. I mean, when I was in Korea, I mean, we studied like English, how to read and stuff. But
Yeah,
that's completely different when you come here. None of it applies, right? Like
yeah,
you don't actually know how to speak. You don't actually know how to listen. So for like the first 2 years, I didn't understand a single thing. So I just watched a lot of TV,
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of late night TVs, and that's how I picked up most of my English.
Wow. So you learned TV from Conan O'Brien and from Jay Leno, huh?
More like a Spin City
Spin
and
City.
suddenly
Oh,
Susan.
oh, suddenly Susan is dude. I love Spin. I love Spin City with Michael J. Fox, and
Oh
then
yeah.
like that's such a good show to me. I'm happy that it's like on Tubi and all those kind of free things. Because I remember I used to look for those DVDs and nobody ever had them. So
God, yeah, it's just such a obscure show.
yeah, it's so funny that you learned how to speak English from like a show that talked about like politics and New York and all that stuff. That's just funny to me. And Suddenly Susan, like a sitcom about a single woman in New York. Also, that's just hilarious, man. Speaking of watching TV and trying to like get into the whole American swing of things, how'd you get into wrestling?
So I've always been a fan of pro wrestling, like throughout my life. It just life got in the way for just like how most of us are, right?
Yeah,
And I didn't even know about this until like recently that I didn't know there were schools where you can learn how to do pro wrestling. Like I done middle school and high school wrestling, like collegiate wrestling and stuff, but I
yeah.
never actually knew there was like a pro wrestling schools around. And after my 31st birthday, uh, and I was was like, dude, what am I doing with my life? I'm just working. I'm just going through motions with my life. There's nothing going on. Like I probably should do something that's meaningful. And I did, I heard about it, like from somebody at work about, the pro wrestling school around the area. So I found one. I literally just went to, the school the next day and thinking, well, if I don't try this now, what am I doing with my life? Like I'm already past 30. Like this has been my lifelong dream. If I at least don't try it, what am I doing with my life? Like I guess I was just going through the, like a life crisis moment.
Yeah.
Like I don't know with like what's the purpose of my life, what am I doing? And that was like a 2019. And ever since then, like honestly, I didn't know I was gonna last this long. Like at the time, I was really not in like a good physical, shape and not doing, really well. And a lot, honestly, like did not realize how hard it was gonna be.
Did you like? Because you grew up watching wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, is that also how you kind of learned English? Because I know my cousins they also learned English by watching like SmackDown.
Oh, you have no idea.
Because like Kevin
Yes,
Owens talks about like how that's how he learned English was by watching like Raw. I,
I have a hilarious story about that actually, because I knew who Hulk Hogan was
yeah.
because I saw him on TV before, right? Because
Hmm.
I watched wrestling back when I was in Korea. Even when I came to America, I still know who Hulk Hogan was.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I thought this was a different show. But I saw him on a late night TV show, which later I found out was Suddenly Susan. And then he was running for the mayor of Hollywood. I was like, oh, I know that guy. I'm gonna watch this show. That's how I got into Suddenly Susan to start with. And then middle of the show, Hulk Hogan just goes, "I'm gonna kick your ass, brother." I was like, oh. And then he follows, "I'm gonna feed your ass, brother." Oh, I mean, I can understand Hulk Hogan. That's cool. And next day, I go to school. I'm in the ESL class. Teacher comes in. I stand up, look at my teacher, poor lady. I just burst out, "I'm gonna kick your ass, brother." She looks at me, dumbfounded, and she's like, "What did you say?" "I'm gonna feed your ass." And then she just quietly turns around, sit down, and then moves on like nothing happened. So yes, I learned my English from a lot of wrestlers.
Yo, that's funny, man. So you actually got into it like at the age of 31, and just because you just wanted to see because you didn't know if it would be too late for you. You know, a lot of guys, because we hear about like guys like, you know, Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne who got started like when they were like 13, or like all the luchadors who basically started it without coming out the womb, all the Samoans that just started because like their dad or their uncle's a wrestler. But and like they're all starting young, so like when you hear about people starting at 30, 31 years old, it's like there's two guys who pop up at that age, you know. We think about like, you know, a guy you probably
Uh,
know, Josh Barnett. We
oh
talk
yeah.
about Kurt Angle, and we talk about the Boogeyman.
Oh yeah.
So like, you know, to me like age is just, it's just there. If you have the passion for it to go for it, and if you have the effort and love for it, I don't think like age should stop you. Like, because you know one of the best wrestlers of all time, Takashi Shigura from Noah, he started at 31 like you did. So like I
Right.
never, yeah, and he's still going right now. He's 54, he's still going.
Damn.
But it's, you know, I just, I say, man, kudos to you because I had those thoughts too, right? I had those thoughts of starting, and like over here in LA, there's so many schools I could have gone to. I remember I asked like I was emailing Rocky Romero like, hey bro, like what do you think about me starting at Jesse School in like Empire Wrestling, because that's over in the Inland Empire. I think that's where like the Young Bucks trained also, and he was like, nah man, I think you're too old, so I never did it. Because if
Damn.
Rocky tells me I'm too old, I'm gonna listen to Rocky. But
Right.
but yeah, man, I like that you started at that age. And so when you came in, I'm guessing you came in like out of shape. I don't know if you watch his YouTube, but you know, if I was gonna compare you to someone look wise, it's probably like David So. But
Davis. Oh, okay. I have not. Sorry, I don't. Yeah, no idea. Because I was told I looked. I mean, I personally also think they were right. I looked like 2007 Samoa Joe when I came in.
oh yeah, you look like a 2007 Samoa Joe with the you got the same hair.
Paint on the
That
face.
Hey, yeah, this dude also wears the same kind of half shorts, and he does the kick, the Samoa Joe kick. And you do
Yeah.
the Samoa Joe power bomb, Boston Crab. Hey, yeah, I watch your matches, man. I watch your matches. So, hey, man, if there's
uh,
someone to copy, Samoa Joe is like, for me, because he's the SoCal guy. He's like
oh
one of the
yeah.
best of all time. So I mean,
I mean,
that's a good comparison if you want, if like you want visually for people to call you like you look like Samoa Joe. That's not an insult, man. That's a good thing.
oh, it wasn't an insult to me because Samoa Joe was one of the guys that I looked up to, growing up.
Yeah,
Because when I was in like a high school, like he was in Ring of Honor, putting on a banger matches. I'm like watching him. It's like he was different than anybody else at the time because he didn't have the, like a body shape of the, like a typical WWE guys.
yeah,
And like him and Kevin Steen at the time, that made me realize, oh, you don't have to look like, fucking bodybuilders to do this.
yeah,
Because there are people like Joe, Steen, even Morishima
yeah,
killing it out there.
yeah.
Damn,
Umaga.
that's awesome. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, I mean, those people probably the reason why, like I pulled up the courage to do this in the first place. I was like, I don't have to look like that to start. I can just go in
Yeah,
there and see what I can do.
yeah. But you know what's funny? Cause Samoa Joe started in the same class as like Frankie Kazarian and John Cena, right?
Oh yeah,
But the legend is like he would always outwork both of them.
I
Like
believe
he would
it.
gas them out. That's the legend. He would gas them out.
Damn,
And
I mean that man has some damn work rates. Yeah,
yeah,
that man had the crazy work rates back in days.
yeah. So what school did you train at?
So I originally start with 321 Battle Academy
Yeah.
before pandemic. Unfortunately, they closed down right before pandemic. So and then pandemic hit. So there goes the about a year or so of not doing anything. And then I joined Buddy Wayne Academy here in
Oh.
Everett, Washington.
Oh my God, we got a Buddy Wayne Academy guy here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for that reveal, because you know we're talking about Kevin Knight, We're talking about
Oh,
Nick Wayne. We're talking
yeah.
about Darby Allen. These are your classmates. This is your alma mater people. This is these are the people that yo.
They're,
So
yeah,
tell
they're
me,
my
man.
senpais.
Those are your senpais, man. Those are like
Yeah,
and like it's cool because those guys are all like on TV. They're all younger than you, but they're all on
I
TV
know they're
and they're all
they're
killing
so
it.
good.
Yeah,
Which is funny because I met Kevin Knight when I first started. Like he started a little bit before I started training, and he was already crazy good at the time. I met him once, and I have not seen him for like almost a year. And next thing I know, I find that he went to Bodyweight Academy, and then he's already doing shows all over the, like not only the area but all over the
yeah,
America. I was like, holy crazy! That's what.
yeah.
And I knew Nick Wayne from when he was like a 13, 14. Like I drove him and his buddies to these shows and stuff. So yeah, like Darby, I met him once when he came over to uh Buddy Wayne, back in the area, and he dropped by, like helped us train.
That's cool,
And
man.
yeah, like all these people, crazy how you get so many talented people out of this garage. Like
Yeah,
literally just our school is not a like some kind of a building, with like a high tech,
yeah.
equipment or anything. It's just literally garage with a ring, and this is where some of the best people you see on TV now trained.
Yeah, it's great, man. Bodyweight Academy, like the guys I've seen come from there, your guys' fundamentals are always like top notch, and it's just so much talent comes from the Pacific Northwest. You like all the guys we named, also like I got a name like Swerve, like that scene out there between like Defy, Prestige, Dead or Alive, SOS, like you got a whole lot of like talent in the Pacific Northwest, and to be able to have that kind of scene, it's pretty cool, honestly, because like California used to have that kind of big scene, but then PWG sort of went away, where like we had the local guys. Because what I like about where you wrestle, it's like mostly local guys, like local guys fighting all in the Pacific Northwest. And I like what I had a problem with on the super indie level was like people would be working the same matches everywhere across the country, and that kind of for me it killed like what the indies was about. But like you're working all these different shows, man, and I gotta commend you for that. Like being able to go and then just follow a dream that you had like as a kid, and even though you're a grown man, you're doing this. You're actually doing this, and I gotta say like congrats and kudos to you, man.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. That means a lot. Yeah, it's it hasn't been easy,
Yeah,
but yeah, I just try my best to just because each everybody has their dream, right? At some
yeah,
point, you had to either stop following that dream or whatever happened. But I fortunately had the opportunity to pursue this dream of mine, since childhood, and actually live this beautiful dream as a reality.
yeah,
Like I never expected to go this far. Honestly, I never expected to even have a match when I first started, let alone be on shows regularly.
yeah, dude.
And now I'm dumbfounded with so many opportunities and so many fortunate things that has happened to me and so many wonderful people I met. So yeah, it's been crazy.
Yeah, man, that's good to hear. Like, shout out to you, dumbfounded. Like, it's so crazy that, I mean, it's not crazy, man, because I had the dream of wrestling, right? I had the dream of wrestling when I was a kid, and it's parts of me like wishes there's a lot of parts of me that wishes I went to train, but instead, I did jujitsu when I was older because I was like, okay, and I specifically went to Josh Barnett's gym because I was a mark for him in in UFC, and he was in New Japan, and he was in the Inoki Genome. So like I knew like he liked wrestling. So when I went there, I was like, "Hey, brother, I loved your main event with Yuji Nagata at the Tokyo Dome," and that's the first thing I said to him. Like, not even mentioning like, "Oh shit, you're," because like, he was legit. He was the UFC champion,
Right?
King of Pancrase, you know. And then like, I'm all there. Oh, I loved your match with Yuji Nagata at the Tokyo Dome. That's one of my favorite matches. And he's like, "Oh, okay." And like, Josh is really nice. And I bring up Josh because he's also like from Seattle and all that stuff, and he represents Seattle. And like, it's just funny, man. Like, you go into that stuff, and I that was the closest I got to pro wrestling was, in jiu-jitsu you do a bunch of break falls, you do a bunch of tumbling, you do a bunch of like a bunch of conditioning drills, and like it's the same when I saw like how like some wrestling classes are done. And you talk about you went there and you felt like you weren't in the in the best shape to do it, but hey, you got through it, man.
Oh God, yeah, I
Persistence.
was yeah. I barely survived like the first few months. I was like, dude, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah.
There's a lot of running.
Hey, man. you know because if we're talking buddy Wayne Academy, and if we're talking about like the connections in that, now Sting's son trained under Darby, so he's technically also Buddy Wade Academy style. I, so like it's just I think like from what I've seen of Buddy Wade, because I used to follow Buddy on when he was on the Indies, and then when I see all of his students, and all of you guys are like, it's crazy. Like, there's like not like a miss on any of most of his students, and like like you guys have like really really good fundamentals. I know people always call Darby like a wild man, or like say like all that Nick Wayne does is a bunch of flips, but no, your guys' footwork and fundamentals, like the selling, and all that stuff, it's always on point. And I think it's because you guys did a lot of drills, and like you guys had that instilled in you about like the basics matter, so that if you have the basics down, when you go to do the more advanced stuff like what Darby and Nick Wayne do and what Kevin Knight does, you had that foundation just in case something goes wrong. You could always fall back on the basic stuff. I
Oh,
think,
absolutely, yeah.
yeah, you're a really, I gotta say, man, your lariat. I know I'm Doctor Lariat, but your lariat you always kill people with it, and I love how brutal it looks all the time. Cause
Oh,
like,
thank you.
yeah, I know guys sell, but like if guys aren't gonna sell it, they're gonna get their heads ripped off. So they better sell it, because that just comes out. And like I always make this joke, because there's always this Korean thing. I always make fun of my friends, like, oh, that's that Han. Yeah, that stirred up Han coming out. So like whenever you hit that lyric, I was like, oh, there's that Han.
Yep, there's the hand right there. Yeah. No, you better bomb because you have no choice. You're going down.
You're going down, man. That's it. That's it. You're gonna get your jaw broken, or you're gonna take this bump. Yeah, bro. I love this conversation, man. Yeah. Whenever I reach out to people, right, for interviews, it's usually because of the conversations we've had, like whatever conversation, however long or short it is, and then like, I'm never coming on here to bring someone on for clout. I never do like a clout style interview. I just always want to interview and get to know the person, and the like, dude, you're freaking awesome, dude.
Oh, thank you. And I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna bring you any clout by having me here, so you don't have to
Hey,
worry about that.
hey, I'm just saying, man, because sometimes like sometimes guys, when I like send the question, they're like, what am I gonna get out of it, right? Or, I mean, I get that. Some guys, I guess they think they have a brand or anything like that, but like coming onto a podcast, it's pretty. I'm gonna say it's pretty brave of you to come on here and share your story, because not a lot of people are like comfortable with doing that and talking. But I mean, you're a wrestler and you wrestle like in the chonies, so you wrestle with your chest out. So I assume like you're not really that shy.
No, no, no. I mean, look, man. We go out there half naked with spandexes on. with your buddy, and then we fake fights in front of hundreds of paying customers. How shy can you be, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was looking because like when I was looking on your YouTube, right, I was looking for your promos, and I couldn't really see like where you would cut promos. You got the matches on there, but like I'm talking to you right now, I'm like this dude would be is a killer promo. uh, have you ever had that chance to like stand and just cut that promo, or not really
I
your thing?
I done few like a recorded promos. It's mostly on my Instagram. Yeah, like I said, I only put matches on my YouTube because that's where I want to, like just archive matches just so I can keep, like record of it.
Yeah,
Uh,
memories.
but yeah, it's just kind of weird. It's not that weird actually thinking about it because the character I'm portraying a lot of times it's just kind of like the stoic, strong guy,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So a lot of times, like less words I say is more effective. So the few times I do a recorded promo will be, like more effective, kind of deal.
I get it. Because you talked about Morishima earlier, and Morishima was that, hey, hey, and then
Right?
I'm gonna kill
Yeah.
you. That's his. That was his promo, and like I get it, man. I get it. Cause, but you're showing me a lot of charisma. You're showing me a lot of poise. You're showing me a lot of vocabulary. Cause like they said the same thing about Gunther, like how he wasn't gonna be a promo, and then look at him. He's like
Oh
probably one
yeah.
of the best promos in the business right now, which
He's
is
the most
crazy.
one of the most charismatic guy out there right now. He's killing it.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
crazy to me. Like, cause like he was usually like what you said, like quiet, only says a couple of things and doesn't say anything. But now like he's cutting like 20, 30 minute promos and killing it. One of the most over heels in wrestling. And I see that for you too, man. Like, cause but there's always a thing when it comes to like America and like accents that aren't like European accents. Like because we don't really see the guys who speak English as a second language being able to like just cut those promos. I mean, we're seeing it a little bit now, like Banditos doing those promos, Takeshita's cutting, and Okada are cutting promos. But like historically, we just been like people cut promos in their own language and they do the subtitles, which is good. That's great. Share culture, let people read what they're saying because we're now in the culture where people love reading subs over dubs, whether it's a Korean drama or anime. But like, I never had a problem with understanding accents because I grew up here. All my aunts and uncles they have accents, heavy accents. Whenever I talk like my dad, I have to talk with the heavy Filipino accent, and this is just how I talk. And it's you know I think it would be crazy. Like my dream is if I was ever a wrestler, I'd basically do an impression of my dad because my dad was like I think every son has an impression of their dad when their dad is trying to make jokes or when their dad is pissed. And I
Oh
think
yeah.
those are two good those are two good ways to have convey your promo because my dad was kind of like I mean is because he's still alive was he's kind of like a Filipino Dusty because he's fat, he has curly hair, he says he says baby a lot because hey, baby, I'm here. Oh, man, I'm trying to do the Filipino Dusty. Hey, baby, I'm here because the American dream is live and in living color, daddy. And I like to eat my longanisa with my rice and my, you know, that's what the American dream eats for his breakfast. I'm trying to get that down. Filipino American dream. That's gonna be my
That's
new
gonna be
gimmick.
your gimmick. Yeah.
Is hey, we got to go to uh I slept and okay, I went and dined with kings and queens and slept in alley and dined on pork and beans. That's hard
Let me tell you
times.
something, baby. Let me tell you something. Hard times, hard times, hard times. Hard time is when you get home at 7 a.m., 7 p.m. and your wife is not done with the cooking rice. Hard times.
Oh man, Korean Dusty. Oh shit, this rules, dude. Asian American dream. We live in a living
Asian
color,
American.
daddy.
Oh yeah.
Yo, man, man, I always say this to everybody that I interview that's Asian, whether that's South Asian, East Asian, Southeast Asian. I think one guy I interviewed was Kazakh, but like I'm always gonna say like, hey, hey Drake, I gotta welcome you to the longest running episodic Asian American pro wrestling podcast, The Prescription. We add another one to the board. We got Drake Kwon. We got Sungyu. We have the man. We have the Dragon Fist man over here. And like, I'm so happy to have this conversation with you, bro.
Hey, happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. And I always like I want to ask like this for like wrestlers, right? So like when you come up with like your move set, right? Are you thinking about like guy? Because I know you do like that whole Samoa Joe powerbomb, Boston Crab thing, and you do that Samoa Joe sick kick thing. But like when you think about like the moves you do, like I think your finisher is like the awesome bomb, and you do the lariat. Does that come from like your fandom, or does that come like from like what you think you can do like the best?
Kind
Because
of
I love your
half and
awesome bomb,
half.
man.
Yeah. I mean, I love that. I love that move, but I cannot pull that off with everybody, right? So that's why I
Yeah,
have lariat. So I mean, I went through few finishing move at this point. I started with a claymore. I also tried with like a Taz mission, but ultimately, like what fits me as like a wrestler, person, and a character, and then what can I do with everyone out there that's not gonna complicate things, or like can they take it?
yeah,
Because it's not just about me, it's also about the other person in the ring with me, because this is like a dance together.
yeah, brother. Yeah,
I
I get it.
can't just like, oh, I'm gonna do this move on you, you better take it. No, it's like, hey, I got idea, can you take it? Yes, okay, cool, let's go with it. No, okay, I got different ideas, we can always do something else, because you have to be flexible with your, not only your ideas and move sets and everything, but just in life, you have to compromise, right?
Yeah,
Wrestling is no different. Like, you take what you can.
yeah, yeah. That's great, man. You know, that's just great. I love pro wrestling. I love how like the more the kind of like story thread about like my show is people connected through pro wrestling. So like if you didn't like pro wrestling and if I didn't like pro wrestling, we wouldn't be talking right now. Because we both like pro wrestling.
Shoes on, get up in the morning, cup of milk, let's rock and roll.
私
Big bang, get the drum rolling on like a rolling stone. Sing song when I'm walking home, jump up to the top of the brown. Ding dong, call me on my phone, nice tea and a cup
I'm
of
here with Sung Yu, aka Drake Kwon, aka Chad Gulby, and and we're here. We're both real Asian Americans. We're both Asian American dreams. Live in a living color, daddy. And yeah, man, I really appreciate you coming on here, man, because I know like a lot of people don't really have the free time to go ahead and do like the podcasting thing or do like interviews and that. But like that's why like even like people with like because people have jobs, people have their own lives. So like to be able to like carve out like just some time to like share with me your story, I gotta say like thank you for that, man.
I mean, thank you for having me here. I'm so glad you gave me opportunity to share, like my story on your show.
Yeah,
This has been great. Yeah, I don't usually get to, like a share, the stories like this a lot. So this has been refreshing.
yeah, man. Cause like we talked about you training during COVID, and that's hard, man. Cause COVID did a lot of things for me. Like it forced me to just not have a wedding, so me and my wife were able to just like get married like in front of a courthouse, and then Like I was telling you off the air, like COVID kind of just like it just made it so that you had to wait one more year before you got your shot. And if you were meant to have your shot, it wouldn't have happened. But you're wrestling regularly, you're out on the scene. Like when I looked up like pro wrestlers in the Pacific Northwest that represent the West Coast, because in my opinion, West Coast, best coast.
Hell yeah.
And I was like looking at like the top like Asian American wrestlers, like that's what I was looking at. And then like I see Justin Chun. Shout out to you, Justin. Like dude's killing it. I see like I'm not sure if Daniel Makabe is Japanese or not, but for some reason his name popped up, but he doesn't look half. But I'm not one to judge. And then like I see Drake Kwon. I see this big, you know, this big Haas Bruiser Bulgogi looking dude out there, throwing lariats and all that stuff. And like that's kind of why I wanted to like hit you up, because like it was cool to see like a dude that's not from Japan. Cause like shout outs to the guys who come from Japan and do like their excursions out here, but like it's cool to see a dude like from like the area that that I know eats rice, eats kimchi, eats shin noodles. I know you do. You get that big pack at Costco, like,
Oh yeah.
and it's just like it's good to see. It's really good to see like people that like look like me, kind of like. I mean, like, we don't look like each other. We look different, but like what I'm saying. Like somebody that's representing. Like you're not carrying the Korean flag on your back. I mean, sometimes you wear like that gi with that headband. That's a good look. That's a good gimmick look, brother. I gotta tell you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's how I started, and I kind of finally got more, more ornate, role finally. So, like,
Yeah, dude, that
I
robe
hope.
is cool, dude, and the
Oh
mask that you
yeah.
come out with, that's a cool ass mask, man. So what's the origins of the mask?
So both mask and the robe are actually kind of. I don't know if you can see the logo I'm using right now.
Yeah,
So that's the Red Devil, which was the mascot for the Korean soccer team, national soccer team,
dope.
back in 2002. So that's where I got the idea for the mask. That's how I painted my mask to have that, like a Red Devil look. And the robe is actually, I designed it after traditional Joseon Korean brigand
Dope.
armor. So it has the little, like a little rivets and whatnot to make it look like I'm coming out with the armor robe with the devil mask, because I
It's
wanted to, still have that, like some cultural representation, but without being so,
over.
like in your face, and like I don't
Yeah,
want to force it down your throat, but
yeah,
I still want you to know, where I'm from.
yeah. That's what I think is dope, man. Representing without being pandering. That's cool as hell, man. Like when I see TJP do the Swan gimmick, I get it. I like because I like TJP. I like Jeff Cobb. Although for some reason Jeff Cobb right now is Samoan, but that's besides the point. Like but representing for your culture and doing it, and if I think I like that too, because if you I didn't know that that's what it's representing. I thought it was just like a dope role, because like guys like Okada and Takeshita that have really cool ornate robes. So to see that yours comes from like Korean battle armor, and it's just the mask comes from like the Korean national soccer team, that is so freaking cool, man. I love that. And like in the series that I'm doing, the series that you're on, like I'm paying kind of tribute to Asians in the space, who in the wrestling space and on online space, who are kind of people that I look up to, even though I'm older than you. Even though I'm older than you, it's like I see you as someone that's representing for the culture, as someone that's like putting yourself out there, and someone that's like not being put in a box, and you're being able to like chase your dreams and live your dreams. And like I think that's always commendable. And it's not just like I think that's only commendable for like in an Asian American way. I just think like I love how now, as compared to when we're growing up, we have so many people of color in these spaces, especially like Asian people, like we can look up to, as far as like in social media, in entertainment, in pro wrestling, in music. Like it's really cool that we have this now because I know when me and you were growing up, we didn't really have that.
Oh
Like,
God, no. Yeah, we didn't have any one or anything. Like people forget, like it was just less than 10 years ago when WWE was still doing very racist, program with the Shinsuke and Jinder Mahal. Like
yeah,
we're
dude, they
it
made the
wasn't
two
that long
Asian,
ago,
they made the two Asian dudes feud over have who has the worst accent.
right?
Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
yeah. Seriously, what? That's what you're doing? Okay.
Yeah, man.
Like,
Shinsuke and Jinder would have been in the same like chemistry class, probably being friends with each other. They wouldn't have been like beefing like that.
right.
You kidding me?
But yeah, yeah, but we came a very long way to where we are now, and I do want to say that there are not many of us,
Yeah,
uh, the Asian Americans, or just Koreans in general here in America that does wrestling.
yeah.
There are maybe a handful of us, that people know about.
Shout out to you,
So
Michin.
shout out to you, Michin. Shout out to Myungjae Lee. Shout out to Ikura Kwon, who are out here, keeping the culture and heritage.
Hell yeah, bro.
Respect to you all, and I want to do best I can, you know, but there's so much one person can do. So like we all
Eh,
need our parts, to be
Yeah,
done.
yeah, yeah. Like, and I always like I had this affinity for because when I was watching growing up, like I'm old, right? So like when I saw like Great Muta and Kensei Sasaki or Ricky Steamboat, like on like in WCW, I was like, oh, those guys are Asian. Like Ricky Steamboat looked like my godfather, like exactly like my godfather. And so like trying to like see yourself in this wrestling, I at least had a Ricky Steamboat, but it's just like you when you watch like it's whatever's presented to you in the company, and like growing up, like even when I turned 20, finally I had Batista like as the Filipino guy that represented with the flag
Right?
on his
Yeah.
tattoo. And like my cousins that grew up in the Philippines, they're saying like, yeah, Batista was like the biggest thing over there. It was like Batista and Pacquiao and Onita
Right.
Donaire. But like it's like growing up here in the United States, we didn't really have that many like people on the TV. I mean, or like in even just like in pop culture, but like nowadays we don't really say that much because like you can't avoid anything Korean
Everywhere.
now.
Right. Hey man, like when I was growing up, we had Jimmy Wang Yang, and now we have K-pop like hunters on late night shows. So
Yeah,
yeah,
being sung by Bad Bunny. Like,
crazy. Yeah,
yeah,
it's amazing how things have changed. I'm so happy, that more representation is out there, but at the same time, like it's not, because Asia is not just one country or just like culture. There are so many different Asian cultures out there. Like like you say, Filipinos, like you guys have Batista and Pacquiao and TJP. But yeah, like Japan has so much influence over wrestling for so many
yeah.
years. Like
I
it's
mean,
crazy. Yeah.
I could talk about what my grandparents think about the Japanese, but I won't.
Oh, let's not get into
You know,
that.
brother. You know what I'm talking about.
Right. That's a whole different can of worms we should not be opening here.
Oh, but yeah, man, I understand, like, because Japan has so much influence just, like, in the wrestling thing. And, like, I say, like, I like Japanese things. Oh, when I told, like, my grandpa that, he's like, what do you mean? What do you mean that you like the Japanese? What's that Japanese? You know what the Japanese did? I was like, oh, sorry, sorry, Lolo. I didn't mean,
I didn't mean it that way.
I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I get it, man, and it's really cool to see someone like you, Korean American, in this space, and it's just commendable to me, man. And I love the conversation that we had, and it's so good. But there's like some other questions like I had to ask you, man, because
Oh
like
man.
I just think that there's a lot of things that is taken for granted, right? When me and you ate dinner, probably it's also like you got yelled at for leaving any little bit of rice that's on your plate. You don't leave any rice on the plate, and like I think when we think about stuff like that, like our parents, like oh okay, my parents didn't grow up with that much, so whenever they can feed us, they want to feed us as much as they can because they don't know when's the next time they'll have all of this, right? So they want us
Right.
to enjoy and not think about it. And I want to like ask you like what do you enjoy in life right now? Like, what are things that you can like take maintenance of and take and like compartmentalize and like what are the things that you value and things that you cherish right now in life?
So right now, there are a few things I cherish a lot. One of them is free time.
Yeah,
As I get older and as I do this more, realizing, oh my God, I wish I had more free time. The other thing is my health, because body hurts all the time when you're doing this.
yeah,
So when I'm not hurting, I'm feeling great, and I'm really grateful for that. And lastly, uh, great company and friends,
yeah, dude. That's
both in and outside of the business. Yeah, it has been a tremendous help for me to keep my sanity with these people that support me. So yeah.
yeah, bro. I completely get it, man. I'm and like like imagine you're Goku and I'm sending you my chi. That's what's happening right now. So you can let it the all people with that awesome bomb.
Oh hell yeah. Yeah, put those hands up.
Yeah, man. And this has been one of my favorite conversations I had on here. And like, to talk to somebody who's in the business, who's such, like we always get those stories of those people in wrestling are maniacs, right? But like, I know a lot of guys who trained and they're just chill ass dudes. You're a chill ass dude. I'm sure you're a maniac in other ways. I mean, you're Korean.
Uh,
Get a
I have
couple
my
beers in
moments.
you. Get a couple
I have my
beers.
moments.
Get some shots of some shots of a Grey Goose or Henny, and the outcome is that full Han.
Oh man. You
But
ain't wrong. Yeah, yeah, get me that ball of soju away from me. That's what I'm gonna
oh
say.
dude, man, when you get that soju on, and then like the thing about soju is like you keep drinking because it tastes good, right? So like
Exactly, man. You don't know
you
because it
don't
just
know,
sneaks in.
and then like you just hits you, and then like you just when you wake up, you're like, what the fuck did I do?
Exactly.
Yeah, so like if you guys out there like are drinking those are doing soju at the karaoke bar, pace yourself and make sure you eat something. Make sure there's at least one sober person, because we made the mistake of we peer pressured the designated driver to drive, and we got home, but we don't know how the hell we got home. Don't do that.
Uh,
Don't do
nah,
that.
don't do that. Yeah,
That was in
drink
my 20s.
responsibly.
drink respons- Drink responsibly and always have a designated driver. If not, get yourself a Uber XL or whatever. I'm not sponsored by Uber XL, but I'm always against drunk driving. So like always get like that car to drive there and drive back, because nobody needs to die.
Yeah.
Um, I want to say like thank you again for coming on and sharing your story with me, sharing your time with me, because like I feel like a lot of people write stories, right? A lot of people write stories, but like in Asian culture, especially in my Filipino culture, something that we do hand down is oral stories that are handed down from time to time to time, like family stories that they're not written down, they're just things that happen and they get passed down. Like The story about my great grandpa, my great great grandpa, is he used to make wine, coconut wine, right? But he used to make it like 100 proof, and then apparently like he one time he blew up the thing blew up, right, and he blew off 2 fingers, so he was like called Three Finger, so they called him Grandpa Three Finger. But that's a different story. But like, to get back to my point, like what I'm doing here with you, Drake, is like we're sharing Drake's story, Drake Kwon's story, some cute story about like his life, how we got into wrestling, and I'm happy to share that with the world, man. And what you're doing is really brave. What you're doing at your age is really brave. You're doing what I always wanted to do, man. I never wanted to be like in WWE or New Japan or anything like that. I just wanted to be on like the independent scene, like on the weekend, maybe doing like a couple of suplexes and power bombs, and like now, like I'm talking to you, and now like I feel like I'm out there because I have Bruiser Bulgogi over there hitting lariats for me. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's been such a great interview with you, and like I usually ask these like 2 questions like to close out all the time because I love eating. Eating is my passion. Food is my passion. I mean, you saw me on camera. I'm a big back boy. You're a big back boy. We're both sturdy
Oh
guys.
yeah.
But I love dessert. Dessert's probably one of my favorite things to eat. Besides, well, when I do a Korean barbecue, we get the galbi and then you dip it in the corn cheese. That's sort of sweet, so that's
Oh
kind of a
God,
dessert.
yeah.
And now I'm craving it again. I'm like, man, I didn't eat enough. But like my question for you, bro, is like, what's your favorite dessert?
Ooh, man, I always had a weak spot for a cake,
Oh yeah.
especially cheesecakes.
Oh, I
That
love
was the
cheesecake, man.
hardest thing to cut. Yeah, when I started doing this, when I started losing weight, it's like, oh man, I'm craving cake so much.
Dude, like I don't know if they have this up there, but do they have like cheese tella up there, like the castella cake with like cheese in it, or like castella cake with cream? I
Oh,
love
we have
that.
Castella here, but I haven't seen ones with the cream or cheesy in it.
Oh, dude, there's this place over like in Buena Park. If you come down here, dude, we gotta hang out if you ever come down
Oh
to
hell
LA.
yeah.
Like ladies and gentlemen, I'm already planning some stuff. But if like this, like dude, you freaking rock. I can't wait to see where you're at. Like next time we talk. But like I believe in you. I believe in Drake Kwon. You know, to steal a line from somebody that I don't really think much about. But I believe in Drake Kwon, and it's it's such a pleasure to have you here. And like, if you had a rainbow pop out the sky with a message from you, what would you like to say?
Be good to the others, so they be good to you. Hard work and good attitude always pays off.
That's beautiful,
Yep.
man. That's beautiful. Did you want to get your plugs in, or did you want me to plug
Uh,
your? Did you want me to do your plugs for you?
if you have my plugs ready, go ahead. I can't even remember all my plugs honestly at this point.
Okay, I got you, bro. We got we got Joey Kwan over here. He's he's a good brother. He is from the Pacific Northwest. He is, if you've seen him live, go ahead and do it. He wrestles over the Pacific Northwest. You can see him on DOA Wrestling. You can see that he's worked for Defy. He works for SOS. You can follow him on Instagram at really Drake Kwon, and you can follow him on X at really Drake Kwon, and you could also follow him on Twitch at real D Kwon. And this guy, for bookings, please, if any bookers are listening to this, because I know some of you are, his you can find his email on all of his social media. And this man, book this man, give this man some work. you know, he's really a hard hitting guy, really a good. He's got a good look. He's got moves. He's Buddy Wayne Academy trained. You can't even get better than that. You could also, you know, see where this guy is working. Are you working anywhere coming up this soon?
Actually, I have October off. My
Okay.
body needs a time off, but I'll be back in action November with both SOS, DOA, also Pick Wrestling at Everett, Washington.
Hell
And
yeah, man.
I am also gonna be heading to Korea for a few weeks, through November to December.
Hell yeah, dude. Go to Korea, get the. Hmm. I want to go back and eat some real like they have like the soup over there. Cause my favorite Korean food besides Korean barbecue I like jampong.
Oh, yeah. I like the jjajangmyeon. So yeah.
Yeah, jampong jjajangmyeon. You get the sweet and sour pork.
Oh,
That's all something I always love to get. I know my wife so much whenever we go out to eat and like she's like, "What do you want to eat? I know you're only going to want to eat Korean barbecue sushi or jjajangmyeon." I'm like, "Well, you know what I want." You can also follow him at Real D Kwon on YouTube, where he has an archive of all his matches, and I recommend them. I'm not Dave Meltzer, but I am Dave Seltzer, and I think this guy is someone to watch for. Um, Drake Kwon. That's a guy. That's a guy to watch. And once again, I want to thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to the prescription. Thank you guys for listening to this Asian American sort of sort of like mini series I've been doing, and it I love featuring these voices that don't get to be heard all the time. And we're all here, we're all humans, and if you would, I'm going to give you. This is what I've been doing on my shows lately. Drake is a little bit of affirmations, because I don't know if you're a man of God. I know a lot of Koreans are, but this is not anything about a prayer. This is just good vibes. So I want to say this to you because I did say this to you a little bit earlier, but I believe what you're doing, you're meant to be doing. Everything that's happened so far, it's just always on an upward trajectory. And I know like things might be hard, but you always just got to believe in yourself. And I believe in what you're doing. I believe that you're doing the right things. And I believe that you're going to do what you set out to do, because you're hardworking and you're just full of character, man. And I just got to say, like, I'm proud of you, and just keep doing what you're doing, man.
thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you for your kind words, and thank you for having me here today.
Yeah,
It
man.
has been a pleasure.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming on, and this really is a pleasure. I'm gonna say it because like I'm lame. Kamisamida.
감사합니다. 천만에요.